Hey y'all, it's Texanico here, and today we're going to be doing the rebuild of the Houston Texans on the Stick to the Model website. This guy on Twitter, super great, at Stick to the Model, made this. This is amazing, actually. I've had this idea for some time that someone should do this, but obviously I don't have the skills for this type of stuff, so it's amazing this guy did it. Very nice tool. I mean, honestly, let's just get straight into it. Okay, so our first step is going to be cap management. And as you can see in the top right, we are a little bit in cap hell. It's fine, nothing a few restructures can't deal with. Cap space is a myth anyways, just ask the Saints and they'll tell you. Let's start off with a restructure to... Actually, let's extend Danielle Hunter. Let's start it off with that. Let's add another year onto his deal. He's getting up there in age, but he hasn't shown any decline yet. Matter of fact, he's getting better, which is kind of ridiculous. But let's just extend him and try to backload it. And there we go. We're already up 5.5 mil, just like he said he wanted. Titus Howard, I can't trade him. Actually, I might be able to once we get to the trade section, but I'm not going to do anything to his contracts yet. I'm going to try to make this like as close to realistic as possible because that just makes sense. There might be like a random move that I forget, like cutting like the 49th guy on the depth chart. Like who's going to remember to do that? We can restructure Petrie and gain a good amount of cap space. Let's convert over 85% of it, restructure. And now we're in the positive. Just like that, we have money. This shit's not real. It's fake. Dalton Schultz. This is an interesting type of deal because on one hand, I want to extend him because he's still only 29. He came off his best year in Houston last year after Nick Caley, the tight end whisperer, if you will. But the other part of me wants to target a tight end in the draft or say free agency maybe next year and just let him play out his last year and see what to do then. So I'll probably leave him as is. I used to be out on Dalton Schultz, but then Nick Caley came in and made me realize, hey, Schultz wasn't the problem, it was actually Bobby Slowick, which, I mean, when is it not? When is he not the problem, you know? Aziz Al-Shaair, I want him extended. I want this guy on the team until he retires. Do you understand me when I say that? Like, if he ever leaves for any reason, you're gonna find me crying, like, outside of a Whataburger. I'm not gonna lie to you. We can extend him another 3 years. I'm not gonna mess with the money at all. And let's go ahead and front load this contract as well. So in the future, we'll have more money. But for now, kinda sucks. And now, Joe Mixon. Bro. Half of the world forgot he exists. Maybe a quarter of the world doesn't even know if he's alive anymore. And then the other quarter are Texans fans that are just like, bro, get this guy off of my team. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to cut Joe Mixon. We're going to save $8.5 million. Now, I'm not going to try to lie to you guys and say I'm some type of like genius know-it-all, like, oh, I'm so smart, whatever, because I'm not. I don't know if these saving numbers are like 100% accurate. I'm assuming they're pretty accurate, but I don't know for sure. We just saved $8.5 million, so we do have some pretty big contracts to hand out soon. So let me start with Will Anderson. I think he's an expendable asset. I think honestly we could cut him if we wanted to. No, I don't know what kind of thing y'all think this is. I mean, Will Anderson isn't going anywhere. He is here to stay on the Houston Texans for as long as the Houston Texans are an organization. We can extend him another 4 years. I'm assuming we want to lock him down long term. So we could go 4, maybe even 5 years, but I'll stay 4 years. Because I don't know if he'd accept a deal that long. He's going to be the guy to reset the market. You know, he is the future of the league at the edge position. And if anyone's going to get a record-breaking amount of money in 4 years, 5 years, it's him. He's getting a record-breaking amount of money now. You know, he is the market. We'll keep 4 years because I'm assuming he'll want a new deal in like, you know, 4 or 5 years. I'm assuming it'll be somewhere in the ballpark of 46 mil. I'd pay the man 100. Like, just straight up, 100 mil out of my pocket. He could ask for 60 mil a year. And I'm sure Casario in the front office would be like, you know, we could work something out. We could, you know, I mean, who needs to pay Stroud anyways, right? 46 mil, 4 years. almost $200 million. I mean, he deserves every penny of that. Okay. Tremont Smith, I'm not going to lie to you. This isn't it. We can save 1.8 mil. 1.8 mil? I have any idea how much money that is? That's a lot of money. Now, with Mario Edwards, it's kind of a strange situation we have on the D-line, because we do rotate with a lot of depth pieces on the interior and on the edge, but really, I don't know if he's going to be worth as much as he's asking for. We'll go ahead and leave him as B. Tommy Togiai, there is no way, absolutely no way, I am leaving the free agency without extending him. Now, I know he's going to cost a little bit more than we'd like, maybe, but, I mean, he showed insane potential this year. I would extend him for another 3 years, get him a solid chunk of money. Now, I don't know if $8 million is going to be realistic for him. It might be a little much. It might be not enough, actually. It's hard to tell whenever a player like that just breaks out randomly. Like, he didn't have much success before. And then randomly this season, he comes on the scene and he's like, okay, by the way, I'm your best D-tackle on the roster, and I can play fullback, apparently. We'll just give him $8 million over 3 years and see how that does. Now, Justin Watson, I'm not going to lie to you, we can get him off the team. He didn't do much when he was healthy, and that was very far and few between. Jalen Smith, we're not going to do anything with his contract, obviously. He's a rookie, but oh my god. I love this guy when he's healthy. I love the way he plays football. He's so good. I just hope he's able to stay healthier this season, because, wow. Juice Scruggs is now a Lion as of today with the David Montgomery trade. He's going to need an extension when he gets to Detroit, but that's their problem now. Tank Dell, let him play out his final year and see how he does. I love Tank Dell. I love to believe that he's going to come back and be the same guy that he was, but I just can't fully believe that in my right mind, and I wouldn't feel comfortable giving him a long-term contract, even a short-term deal, where he hasn't proven himself yet. Now, I love the guy. It's all, respect for him. And, I mean, obviously, he's a freak. He's a dog. But you can't give him a large amount of money after the freak injuries he's had over the last 2 years. Jimmy Ward, the Texans just cut him. Thank God. Because this is ridiculous. There's no reason he should have been on the team. Those allegations, I don't even know if they stayed allegations or if they were confirmed true. I feel like a casual for not knowing that, actually, but I mean, yikes. Apparently he's like a meth head now, and I mean, this is not a good thing. It's not a good deal we have going on there. Goodbye. Now, Henry To'oTo'o, this is the most confusing player on the Texans roster, I can say. He's a physical player. He's the exact archetype that a DeMeco Ryans would like. He's young. He's improved every year in the league, but my god, is he inconsistent. And inconsistency just isn't something you can have in the league. Like, you have to be consistent. If you're inconsistent, you're not a good player. And that's the issue I have with Henry To'oTo'o. I love him. I love the way he plays, but he just misses so many tackles because he tries to be too physical sometimes. He tries to take people's head off, and he just completely misses the tackle. It costed us the game against the Buccaneers in week 2, and since then, I've kind of had a different look on him. I could extend him. Give him like 2 years, 10 mil. Now, Jared Wayne is certainly somebody who I consistently forget exists, but somehow is always just there. Obviously, I don't like the people that blame him for the Tank Dell situation, but he just never does anything. He's never on the field, and if he is, he still never does anything. That's an easy cut for $1 million. And other than that, I believe that's it. This guy's 0 years old. That's kind of weird. I don't think I've seen that before. I could give a restructure to Stingley. Let's convert over 90% of his salary. Let's restructure him. And in the future, we're looking a little bit rough. But right now, That's all we need, because right now is the window to win. Before we pay our quarterback, before we pay all these super big contracts, whatever, you need to go all in. If restructuring and looking a little rougher in the future is what that calls for, then I mean, so be it. This trade from the Bucks here is actually pretty interesting. It says that we send pick number 28, however, we receive Vita Vea. This is an interesting deal, but it just doesn't seem realistic at all. Also, 2026 pick number 59 for Dexter Lawrence from the Giants. I'm going to be honest with you guys here. If the New York Giants hit my phone, let's say I'm Nick Cassera for a second here. The New York Giants hit my phone. Hello? Yes, this is the New York Giants. We're looking to give you Dexter Lawrence. Oh my gosh, what do you mean Dexter Lawrence? That's crazy. What are you asking? Oh, only a late second. Come on. I'm accepting that in a heartbeat. But because I'm accepting that in a heartbeat, I just don't think it's realistic. I don't think it'll happen. I want to keep it realistic if possible. And I don't see it happening. I would love that deal. You have any idea how dominant Will Anderson, Dexter Lawrence, and Danielle Hunter would be on the same line? That's just borderline illegal. That's assault. You're assaulting somebody. That's not cool. And I'm going to go ahead and force this trade through because it is exactly what happened in real life. I don't care what the calculator says here. I don't care that it says Detroit rejected it because obviously they did not. So this trade is going through. And now we can send over Titus Howard. Obviously, Cleveland did not reject this trade. So I will be forcing this through. I don't feel comfortable accepting any of these other trades because either one, it's just unrealistic. Like, there's no way any of these happen. Or I'm just not a fan of the return. I want to keep it realistic. You could throw away your second and say like a fourth next year and try to get a guy who's really going to lead your backfield. You could go crazy and grab a Devon Achane. And the calculator says it's equal, and you have no idea how much I would love to see Devon Achane on my football team. That it's just not happening. I'm not going to do it because it's just not happening. And like I said, realism is what we're going for. We're going to fast forward to free agency. And here we have $48 million to work with. We did a pretty good job in the cap management phase and the trading phase. Part of me wants to re-sign Danico Autry, and part of me doesn't. One, he's a hell of a player. He's so good. But also, he's like 50. Is that not crazy? He's like 50. We could give him a 1 year, like, maybe 2.8 mil, and see if he accepts it. But he accepted it. Okay. I wouldn't be mad at that at all because he's a good player and he hasn't shown too much of a decline from what we've become used to ever since he joined the team. But he's getting up there. I mean, I don't want a long-term deal or a lot of money thrown at him. Now, EJ Speed is an interesting case. He's a good player, and he was starting for us in a good chunk of games. So I wouldn't mind giving him a more team-friendly offer. Could give him 2 years, 7.5 mil a year, and see what he says. Could try to backload it as well, so we get more cap right now. And he accepts. That's nice. Now, Sheldon Rankins would be nice to have, but I just feel like he's asking for too much, and I would rather target D-line in the draft. Trent Brown is an interesting case because, again, he's injury prone, he's old, he's massive. I mean, Jesus Christ, have you seen the guy? I would like to have him back only if the price is right. I feel like 11 mil a year might be high for me. Like, I feel like it might just be a little bit too much. I want to see if he would take like 9.5. For 1 year. But even then, I just don't think I'm going to offer him. Because again, I want to target the O-line in the draft. I want to solidify the trenches. I want to get some depth at D-tackle. Ed Ingram is somebody I will absolutely not be letting hit free agency, if possible. But he's asking for so much money. He's so worth it, but he's asking for so much money. He's asking for more money than the model will even let me give him. You have any idea how ridiculous that is? We could sign him for the max that it'll let me. Give him a 3-year deal. He's asking for like 15 mil a year. We can negotiate him down to like 13 or 14 and say this is like realistic enough. Other than that, I can't say there's too many people I want back. Christian Harris is so good whenever he's healthy, but again, he just can't seem to stay healthy. There's a few interesting free agents here on the market, say a Dallas Goedert, a Devin Bush, and then there's guys like Mike Evans, who apparently there's rumors that like, oh, we might want him, we might not. I don't want him. I don't know how much money he's going to ask for, but I don't want him. He's from Houston, if I remember correctly. It would be a cool like little hometown reunition story, whatever. I feel like 10 mil a year is not realistic for how much he's going to want. And also, our receiver depth is fine, as is. It's a hot take for whatever reason. Nico Collins, like, you could put him in the top 8 receivers. Jaden Higgins, solid rookie year, all things considered. He's primed for a breakout year for sure. Jalen Noel, speedster. I want to see him get more playing time. Tank Dell coming back from injury. Obviously, we're going to have to see what that does. But our receiver depth isn't as bad as people say it is. Somebody like Cade Mays is someone I've seen a lot of rumors about and a lot of interest in. And I'm not above this interest. I would absolutely sign Cade Mays. Let's backload the contract, give him like 14 mil a year, and see what that does. Cade Mays would be a good fit on this team. There's no reason not to shoot him an offer, and he accepts. Kenneth Walker is someone I would still like to see the Texans go after, even after the David Montgomery trade, but I just don't know that we will. I feel like we traded for Montgomery because we're not sure that we can pay what Kenneth Walker's asking for. Kevin Zeiler's an interesting idea. He's old, but he is very solid. He's not going to ask for too much money. I wouldn't mind shooting him a 1-year deal and just seeing where he is with it. And he doesn't want to come to Houston. I mean, I'll just go fuck myself, I guess. He wants 5.5 mil, and apparently he took that offer. We don't have enough money for Tyler Linderbaum. Now, you guys have to understand where I'm coming from with this. Tyler Linderbaum is a good offensive lineman. He's a good player, but his pass blocking isn't great. He needs to work on it. His run blocking is elite. It's one of the best in the league, but you go over to his pass game and it's just not quite there. And I feel like that's the main reason the Ravens are going to let him walk. I mean, you're not going to see a top O-lineman just hit free agency for no reason. He's asking for upwards of $20 million a year. He's not great in the pass game, which is mainly what we need help with. I mean, we need help everywhere. We need everything we can get. But if we're signing a guy that can only really help in one aspect of the game, and we're spending $20 million a year on it, that's just ridiculous. I can't justify doing that. Matter of fact, I don't really care what makes sense right here anymore. I'm going to shoot Kenneth Walker an offer because I would love to see him on my team so much. He's asking for a lot of money. A lot more than the calculator will even let me send, I believe. But I will absolutely send him an offer, and he agreed. So we're a little bit poor at the moment, but free agency has been good to us. We got 2 guys on the O-line, and we got another, I would argue, elite running back. That's a pretty good free agency, if you ask me. Now, we can continue to the draft. I'll go with a full draft because I want to be as in-depth as possible. I have a few guys that I would like the Texans to target in the first round, and some of them might surprise you guys, so let's just get into it, honestly. I just want to say I wouldn't be opposed to us trading up if the board falls exactly how we want it to, and there's like someone that we just can't let escape us. Here we are at pick 28, and things are already a little bit interesting because a few of my guys are here and a few of them are gone. Now, I want it to be known, Monroe Freeling is a freak of nature. I would love to see this guy on my team, depending on how the board falls in the real life draft. If Monroe Freeling is not here, my guy that I take here is Caleb Banks, 100%. And I know you guys are thinking, but we don't have any O-linemen. What now? There's some good second round talent when it comes to O-linemen this year. And I'm not saying that's not the case for D-linemen. However, Caleb Banks has some freak of nature measurements. This guy is something that has like never been seen before. Obviously, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but 6'6", 330 pounds, 35+ inch arms. He's fast, he's strong, he's physical. He's exactly what you want in this type of defense that the Texans have, and I would love to get him as well. That being said, my pick here is going to be Monroe Freeling because he's available, and if he falls to us at 38, Caleb Banks will be my pick. And he did, so we get the best of both worlds here. We get Caleb Banks at 38, and I'm happy with that. The board has fallen kind of interesting here. There's a few good choices right here that I could justify making. I see a lot of Jennings Dunker on my radar. I like him. I like the mullet. I mean, he's the type of guy that would go to war for his quarterback, and I need that. I like that. I need that on my team. That being said, we have another pick at 69, and nice. Realistically, I'm not sure he's still going to be there, but Jacob Rodriguez is someone so interesting of a prospect that I'm not sure I could pass up on it. Obviously, as the weaknesses here say, he's a little bit undersized. He struggles to wrap up bigger ball carriers. I mean, it makes sense. You guys need to understand, this guy's IQ is like second to none. He is so good in coverage. He is so good at like ball hawks, forcing turnovers, whether it's a fumble, an interception, like some type of. He is so good. And I think that Jacob Rodriguez at 59 would be the ideal pick here for the Texans, assuming he falls, which all of this is assuming they fall. Monroe Freeling could go as early as 10. Fucking Caleb Banks could go as early as like 20. Jacob Rodriguez could go as early as like 40 even. I mean, this could go fully out the window within the first 10 picks. But the board has fallen perfectly so far. And Jacob Rodriguez is my guy. Now, at 69, Jennings Dunker is off the board, and that's a little bit sad. But here we have some interesting picks that we can make. Eli Stowers is a freak of nature athletically. Like it says here, 21 miles an hour. What was it, like 43 and a half inch vertical? I mean, that's ridiculous. Everyone's saying he's undersized. But the problem with saying that he's undersized is you look at a guy like Brock Bowers, right? Like, arguably a top 3 tight end in the league. I feel like that's pretty solidified. He was injured last year. You can't really count it. He is elite when he's healthy. He is no more than 5 pounds heavier than Eli Stowers and the exact same height. I don't understand the undersized argument because Sam Laporta isn't much bigger. He's one of the best guys in the league. Trey McBride isn't much bigger. He is the best guy in the league. And Brock Bowers is the same exact size, and he is, again, one of the best guys in the league. So this argument just doesn't make much sense to me. With Jennings Dunker off the board, I'm going to go with Eli Stowers. At this point in the class, I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is where my knowledge starts to dip off a little bit. My guy Mike Washington Jr. is still here, and I feel like I don't need to say it. He is so fast. Like, for his size, his strength, he is so fast. He has such a high ceiling at the professional level, even to the point where I'm not sure he'll be here in the 4th round. Let's say we don't offer Kenneth Walker a contract in this universe. Obviously, we signed him through free agency right here in this simulation, but let's say we don't. I'm taking Mike Washington in the 3rd. I'm making sure no one gets to him. I'm making sure he is my guy. Him here in the 4th, I'm going to take him anyways. Let's just pretend that Kenneth Walker isn't on the team. This is my pick. Here at pick 144, Jude Bowery is the kind of upside shot that I would take. He hasn't started too many games in college. He hasn't had too big of a sample size. He hasn't even shown anything too crazy. But the raw upside and the size of the build, like the presence that he has a lot of upside. Like it says here, he could be a top 30 pick or he could slide into day 3. It's exactly my opinion on him. He's a very boomer bust type of prospect, and that's the kind of shot that I'd take right here in the 5th round. Markel Bell going a few picks before me here makes me a little bit sad because that would have been the pick that I make here. He is 6'9". Nice. 340 pounds. Insane arm length, insane leverage, insane strength. He's fast, he's physical, he's strong, he's big. Like, he's just the kind of guy you want on your O-line. This Pat Coogan kid is someone that I would definitely consider here at 165. You can see it watching his film. He's very smart. He's got a high field IQ. I feel like he's the kind of help that we want on the O-line, seeing the issues that Stroud has had with, like, diagnosing defenses, sliding his protection, like any type of pre-snap adjustments that you'd usually want your field general quarterback to make. He's smart, he's big enough, he's solid, he has potential, and he's my pick here. I'm not too sure. Logan Fano, I'm assuming brother of Spencer. It says here he's got some injury history, but a high upside. His frame looks good. His 40 time looks serviceable. Obviously, speed isn't everything. This is the kind of shot I'd like to take. I'm assuming he's falling down because of his injury concern. That pick will help us get some depth on the edge, and then we have back-to-back picks here. I will be taking Jacoby Thomas out of Florida. It says here he's a very physical player. I'm sure that's true, and it sounds like the exact type of player that we want. He's good at blitzing, he's good at pressuring. Apparently he's okay in coverage, as long as you don't make him like the single high type of guy. 6'2", 200 pounds. Seems like a pretty solid build, and that is my pick. And just like that, that's it for the offseason. It says that I suck at my job and that I should retire. We have very few money and $170 million in future dead money. Okay. Maybe I need to do this again at some point. And apparently there's a simulate button now. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that and see what happens. The Texans, of course, we finished 9-8. We win our division somehow. And we win the wild card against the Steelers. And we go to the divisional and proceed to lose to the Broncos. This makes me a little bit upset because apparently in 2026 we keep the divisional round curse. And apparently I can go to the 2027 offseason. I'll go ahead and save that for another video because this recording has been going on for a good while. I don't want this video to end up being too long, so I'm going to save this for another video. If you guys like it, please like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Either way, it's a video. Hope y'all enjoy watching. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.